Alright guys, so I'll be talking about Scott Ritter's latest video, making some comments on that particular video. You most likely have not watched that part of that video of Scott Ritter simply because it is at the end, or not really end, the middle of that particular video, so you may not have been that part. So I'm going to be sharing that very important part in this video. But before I move on, just to remind you guys, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing, because we talk about the Zionist state, fake state of Israel every day and show you how they are suffering and getting defeated. Now let's share this particular photo with you, the one you're seeing right here, actually making it a little bit bigger. So what you see here, this is IDF or ITF. I love to call them ITF, Israeli Terrorist Forces. And this is the uniform. And you see a map. Yeah, you do see a map here. This is actually a map. A lot of people do not know. And this is what the map, the actual map is. So they have made a design based on the actual map of what? Map of what? Of Greater Israel. Yay, we're gonna go and make Israel great again. Just kidding. But this is what they did. This is what they did. And the Middle Eastern countries, some of them freaked out. How could Israel do this? Greater Israel, what do you mean by that? You're not happy with Gaza and Palestine? You want to conquer other lands? Yeah, they are sometimes very freakish. But anyways, guys, so this is the uniform, and this is why the uniform has a design or a logo, whatever you want to call it, of Greater Israel. Of Greater Israel. And this is why perhaps they have gone to Lebanon. Now take a listen at this lunatic. He's a ex-finance minister of the Zionist state. Let's listen to what he is saying here.
Eventually, our borders will extend from Lebanon, the Great Desert, which is Saudi Arabia, and then from the Mediterranean to the Euphrates. And who's on the other side of the Euphrates? The Kurds. And the Kurds are our friends. So we have the Mediterranean behind us, the Kurds in front of us, Lebanon, which really needs the umbrella of protection of Israel. And then we're going to take, I believe we're going to take Mecca, Medina, and Mount Sinai and purify those places. Eventually, our borders will extend from Lebanon.
Did you hear that, what he just said? We're going to purify Mecca, Medina. We're going to purify Lebanon. We're going to purify the whole world with the blood of the children of Gaza. Yeah, you're hearing it right. These are lunatics. They want your blood, my blood, to purify the whole world, because we are so impure and they are the chosen people. Their blood is pure. Nobody dares to touch their blood. So this lunatic said what he said, that his country is going to be expanding all the way to Saudi Arabia. They're going to take over the entire Arabian Peninsula, because these countries, Arabian Peninsula, they need Israel's protection. Israel's protection. They cannot even protect themselves from those projectiles, from those rockets, from those missiles coming from Lebanon. They want to protect all of us. Oh, come on, give me a break. I mean, this is how lunatic, how delusional they are. Let's see what this one is talking about. So this is a map, and this was actually posted on Jerusalem Post, and Jerusalem Post is an Israeli newspaper. Basically, they asked this question: is Lebanon part of Israel's promised territory? Wow, yeah, they're gonna have Lebanon, they're gonna have Now, how many days since they invaded Lebanon? 42 days now, or maybe 45. They cannot win over one single small village. Small, tiny little village. They cannot even conquer one little tiny land in Lebanon. After 45 days, how many soldiers got killed? Well, according to ITF, very few, maybe a few hundred. But we know it is in the thousands. Otherwise, why would they have problem winning over lands if they had so less casualties? Oh, a few hundred. No. It is in thousands. They're carrying dead bodies every day on choppers. So they want to have this promised land of Lebanon. Oh my God. And they're asking this question: is Lebanon part of Israel's promised territory? Yeah, it is promised. Go there, go there. Because Hezbollah, they're waiting for you. I mean, these people are sometimes just jokes. Now, this lady, she is not joking at all. She is serious. Oh. When she was asked this question, how great, how big is that land? Yeah, lady, you're going to get all of it. just take it because it's in the Bible. It's in the biblical prophecy. You're going to have it all. Take it. She thinks it is that easy. I mean, how terrorizing this lady is, right? To innocent women and children who she believes must be slaughtered in the name of God for the greater Israel, which unfortunately they are already doing in Gaza. This is the level of lunacy they have demonstrated throughout history. And they are, quite honestly, destroying themselves. Just like they have done in the past twice, they're going to be destroying themselves one more time and again and again and again and again because they don't learn from their history. They don't learn how brutal they had been in the past. Okay, so let's not talk too much about it because YouTube will be like, oh, you're anti-Semite, I'm going to ban your channel. Like, just, they did already. They banned me for a week. I did not talk about this, but YouTube is a Zion tube. Okay, so now let's take a listen at this particular interview of Scott Ritter. He's saying something very, very interesting. You must take a listen.
To be trying to avoid.
What's interesting is that Israel in 2022 and 2023 conducted military exercises, large-scale military exercises. I think the one in 2023 was called Operation Chariots of Fire. There was a stress test of the Israeli Defense Forces' ability to defend Israel against attacks from all of its enemies at the same time. Now, the irony here is that Israel never considered that in their thinking that the attacks that would come would be triggered by an attack by Hamas that would inflict serious harm on Israel and require Israel to mobilize 300,000 troops and deploy them into Gaza.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So back in the year 2022 and 2023, Israel did a military stress test. And through that test, I still remember that actually, they wanted to make it very clear to their military and to their people, to all the Zionists, that we're going to be coming under attack and we will also attack other countries because we believe in greater Israel. Nobody's going to do anything to us because, US is backing us. When they did that stress test, their plan was to really not get attacked by a fly. They consider Hamas a fly, just a small little mosquito. They did not think that this will bite us to the point where now they had to mobilize, as Scott said, they had to mobilize 300,000 troops. So they were planning, they were looking forward to getting attacked, or they will attack, whichever happens first, bigger countries, bigger entities, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq. We're going to go after all of these countries because we have to fulfill our greater Israel ambition. Lo and behold, they got stung by a mosquito. And they got like, oh my God, where did this come from? Hamas? In fact, Netanyahu, he did not even care anything about Hamas. He in fact gave them money to fight the West Bank Palestinian authorities, Fatah movement, right? So they were feeding these organizations, never thinking that they could do any harm to Israel because they built all those fences to stop any infiltration by the Hamas's member into Israel. And lo and behold, the mosquito, when it bit really, really badly. Now they have to mobilize for that one mosquito, small mosquito, mobilize 300,000, or I think it's even more now, troops to face that mosquito, that little fly. Lo and behold, they're losing high-ranking, I quote one more time, high-ranking officials from IDF in Gaza fighting these flies. Again, according to Israel, they're flies, they're mosquitoes, they're tiny little creatures. And so this is the irony, guys. This is the irony. You plan somebody else, in the heaven. He also plans, and he's the best of planners. So he planned that these guys are going to come and bite you, and then you will forget about your, and you'll be not forgetting. They are getting humiliated. Every single day, Hamas and Hezbollah, they're humiliating this super ambitious, God-chosen people every single day. How? By, launching rocket attacks and getting rid of or eliminating so many of their troops. Let's take a listen a little bit more from him.
That wasn't part of the plan. The Israelis always believed that Gaza and the West Bank would be involved in an intifada type uprising where you could handle it with tens of thousands of border police, maybe some soldiers, but that it would be a secondary issue compared to the main fighting against Hezbollah, Syria, and Iran. But even in with that scenario, with the condition that Hamas wasn't engaged as decisively, Israel lost every time. Every time. The only way Israel could take on Iran was with extensive American military support. And that's been something that Israel's been trying to coerce from the United States since the beginning of this conflict, the United States to commit to taking on Iran, something the United States to date refuses to do. But the reason why I bring this up is that...
Well, one thing I also want to make mention of, every single member in the Trump administration, all of them, they have the same ambition, and that is greater Israel. Every single one of them, from Elon Musk to Vivek Ramaswamy to Matt Katz, whatever his name is, to Marco Rubio, all of these people, they believe in greater Israel. In fact, Vivek Ramaswamy, this Hindu guy, said there should not be any more two-state solution at all. That's what he said today. Anyways, this is what they are planning, and they are appointing people, like-minded people, in order to implement their dream, their goal, their desire. But we now know that things are actually not working for them as they used to in the past, where we have seen even the Muslim countries, they were helping Israel in reaching that goal, fulfilling that ambition. Now today, we see Saudi Arabia said, what is happening right now in Gaza is genocide. For the first time, they have used this word genocide. Thank God, finally. And also, whether you like him or hate him, Erdogan also said, I cut off all ties with Israel. Even though it is doubtful, we need to find more about this. Maldives, they cut off ties. Malaysia, they cut off ties. All of these Muslim countries are now freaking out, as I said in the beginning of this video. Why? Because they know that Israel is coming after each of these countries. And there is no two-way around it. Guys, things are looking very, very interesting. And at the same time, very, very scary what Trump is doing and what he's planning. We do not know, but his plan definitely includes making Israel great again. And not just great again in terms of its economy and politics and all that and governance, but make it actually a greater Israel again.